Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Yes, we're quick fire tonight. We're on like that. Game's barely finished and I'm on. We're live streaming. We're getting this one done and dusted, quickly out the way, reviewing our victory in the Premier Sports Cup, the League Cup. We're through to the semi-finals. We're off to Hampden Park. Our place is there. We'll find out who will be joining in that semi-final later on tonight. Aberdeen currently 1-0 up against Partick Thistle. Rangers yet to play Dundee. They'll be kicking off in about, roughly 5-10 minutes time. So we'll find out who we're joining there. But the main thing is, the most important thing is, Celtic have their place there. We'll be at Hampden Park after the World Cup for the semi-finals of the Premier Sports Cup after a fantastic performance tonight from Celtic. 4-0 at Fir Park. And what looked to start off as quite a testing game, but ultimately ended out to be quite an easy win for Celtic. With players turning up and giving us a similar sort of performance as we got against Hibs, in the sense that, I think the game looked different, certainly played out differently. I think that it was more of a test in the opening 45, but in the sense that everybody played their part tonight. There was no one that I feel like you could have looked at in the performance tonight and went, it didn't go as well for them. They didn't play too well. They done this or that wrong. Everybody was brilliant. Thought everybody gave in a good performance, and there's not much to complain about. I mean, what is there to complain about when you win a game 4-0, for goodness sake? And I'm sure the manager will be chuffed. I'm sure the team will be chuffed, and we're one step closer to retaining that trophy, which of course kick-started our season, our trophy haul under Ange Postecoglou last year. So hopefully we're on the way to doing so again. Right, 2 minutes into the show. Hello everybody, welcome, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've missed the start, don't worry, this will be up later on to watch. Nice to see a lot of you piling in. We'll get your thoughts as the show goes on as well, and we'll hopefully bring in some Q&A at the end. But as I said, we've got to be quick with this one. That's why it's live, it's not in video form. It's the reason I'm on so quick after the game finishing. I'm actually away to do things after this, so I've got to get this one done very, very quickly. Apologies. Right, let's talk about the first half then. I think Motherwell actually, brought a decent challenge in the first half, and I don't think the game in the opening 45 made it look as though it was going to be the scoreline that it ended up being. I didn't think that Celtic were poor, or I didn't think that Motherwell were better in this in any sense, but they certainly offered us a good challenge in the opening 45 of the game. They created their own chances, and we had a lot of the same problems that we've had in recent times. We missed a couple of really big opportunities. You think of that Kyogo miss early on in the first half. That was a sitter and a half. It comes into him at quite a fast pace, and it is a difficult one to put away when you've probably not got confidence on your side. But you've got to score them at the end of the day when you're a striker and you've got that amount of distance between you and the goal. You've got to put it in the back of the net. He didn't. Also a huge chance when Kyogo hits the bar. It bounces off the line. Abada tries to go in, ends up getting taken out in the penalty area. And we don't score from that. A couple of big chances which really could have changed the half-time scoreline, but we did manage to find an opener through Liel Abada in the 44th minute, right before half-time. We held on, but we got there. Haksabanovic as well with another assist and a Celtic shot. But Abada tonight, let's talk about him very quickly. Very good performance. A double for the Israeli. It looked really good on that right-hand side, and his finish for the second goal was really, really good. He reacts to it like that. It comes off after the keeper makes a save, comes to Abada. He's still got a hard job to do with the amount of yellow shirts in front of him, a goalkeeper to beat, and just generally the distance he is hitting it first time. It's not easy to guide that into the net the way he does, but he does it like that. And that's one of the, Liel Abada is such a quality player. And I've seen Ryan McGinley tweet out tonight, and I kind of agree with him. Once he irons out the little things in his game that a lot of people get bogged down about, I love Abada. I've never really criticised him that heavily because I think he's brilliant. But the things that he is criticised for, when he irons them out, you've got a player there that with the ability he's got, and especially his goal-scoring ability, to be one of the best wingers this club has had in a long, long time. He's really, really good. And for somebody so young, you think about the things he can do, it's incredible. And tonight, a real booster of a performance for him. I think he'll take that and hopefully run with it into the next run of games. And you can't argue with the quality that's there for such a young player. A donation, by the way, from Crefo. Thank you very much. When will Ange release the Gooch? We'll talk about the Gooch later on. Don't worry, not that Gooch. We'll talk about the real Gooch a little bit later on. But Abada, I thought, was brilliant tonight. Even just the way he was getting players into the game. Of course, he plays a big part in what he does for Kyogo's goal later on in the second half as well. I just feel like he looked so active, and he took a knock pretty early on as well, but he got up, he got on with it. He's just a real asset of a player to this side, and I really enjoyed watching him tonight. But first half in general, I thought Motherwell kept it quite close, and you could see at half time it was looking closer to equal than anything. But Celtic, the better team. But Motherwell certainly done a good job at keeping themselves in it. I think they would have been gutted to concede at the point they did in the first half. And it was one of those ones I could feel like we were going to win the game anyway. We certainly looked the side that we're going to score a goal. But all it was going to take was for Motherwell to get something. So I'm glad we went out in the second half, and I'm glad that we managed to put a bit more past them. And of course, we've done that through Abada, we've done that through Hatate, and we've done that through Kyogo Furuhashi, who managed to get the 3 other goals. Hatate, just unbelievable. Just what the footwork is sensational from him. A real quality player. And the things that he can do make me question how we've ended up with a player of that class and how long we'll keep a player of that class, because the technical ability that boy possesses is another level, I think, for a central midfielder in this country. And, he does have off games, and so does a lot of players. But when he turns up and he plays his absolute best, he really is. And I look at him as a next level sort of player. I really do. And that, you've seen that tonight, just the way he rolls it over to his left foot, puts it in the net. He does that with so many players around him, so many of his own players around him as well, where he could have probably looked to move it on. So many opposition, so many of his own players, the goalkeeper right in front of him, and he just cheeky, filthy bugger. Rolls it with the right, onto the left, back of the net. And it's a real composed head from Rio Hatate, which a lot of these players now possess, and it's great to see. I love seeing these composed players in our side. Talking about composure and talking about players who are getting better and better and better and are showing a real class. One player who I want to really throw out there from tonight, before we get into your guys' questions and such, one player I really want to throw out there is Greg Taylor, who I thought was absolutely brilliant tonight. And honestly, I think that I'm willing to sit down now and say, and this is my own humble opinion, don't need to agree with me, and you all have your own opinion on who it is, but for me, I think the player of the season to this point so far is Greg Taylor. I think he's been unbelievably good, and tonight, the way that he moves for that first goal, it shows the development that he's went on mentally as a player. I think that it's all well and good saying that he's got better at being an actual player with the ball at his feet, doing technical things. But the one thing that is so much more improved from the player that we once had with Greg Taylor is the mental game. I don't remember a time where Greg Taylor was making all those intelligent runs the way he did tonight. The way he passes it, moves, gets the ball back, passes it. For that first goal, he does an absolutely brilliant job. And for me, to this point in the season, I think it's him for me that's been so far player of the year. I just think he's absolutely brilliant. And he deserves all the credit that he's getting from the Celtic support, from the coaches. Just brilliant tonight again. Defensively, moving forward, I think he's a really good player. And I see someone bringing up as well, and if we're giving shout-outs to players just now and talking about their individual performances, Aaron Moy once again tonight. Just honestly, someone who I did, and I had a lot of reservations about. And even after his first few games, the reservations continued. I did back him. I've not had my back against him at any point. I backed him. I've wanted him to do really well, and now he's showing that he can do well. And that he will do well. And the player that played in the Premier League and has played at World Cups and played at major tournaments, this is the guy that we're seeing now. The sheer class of a player like him, the way he reads the game, the way he gets players involved. We talk about the kind of press and the pace and the intensity of an Ange Postecoglou team. I don't think Aaron Moy necessarily possesses all of those things that you necessarily see in an Ange Postecoglou player. But what he possesses up there makes up for it. The way he reads the game, his technical ability, and then his technical ability transferring that over to smart passes forward. But, it makes up for, kind of the slower player that he is in this team. He's not as fast as Hatate or Riley or McGregor, any of those guys. But he's noggin. He's got that. He's got the most important muscle switched on all the time, it seems. And over the past couple of games, Aaron Moy has been really, really good. And, it's a big opportunity for him with Callum McGregor being out the team. And he's taken it. He's grabbed it with both hands so far. And I hope he continues to do so whenever he's given the nod. Really deserves a big shout out tonight. Dear McDonald saying, hard to disagree with that, Ryan. I'd go along with Taylor being our player of the season so far. Every game, he's been brilliant. Abada, I've seen a point in Abada, and I hope Giakoumakis is okay too. He obviously did go down a little bit in the second half. We'll get you guys in a second. Just got to wrap up my points and saying another brilliant performance. The football was flowing. It's just, we had that slump of form, the boom-bust cycle that Ange Postecoglou spoke about. 10 goals in 2 games. This is the Celtic we love. And this is the Celtic we should just be cherishing every single week, whether it's 4-0, 1-0, 0-0, a 2-0 loss at St Mirren. We know how good this team is. This isn't a team on a decline. Hugh Keevins was very quick to jump up and Clyde Super Scoreboard a couple of weeks ago against St Johnstone and say this was a Celtic side that was imploding. If imploding is winning 6-1 on the Saturday and winning 4-0 on the Wednesday, I would love to see an example of his different definitions of football teams. Because this is not a side that's imploding. This is a side that's getting better and better. And with every passing week, even with players like Callum McGregor out and Carl Starfelt out, we still know how to do it. And we never forgot how to do it. People were getting their knickers in a twist over nothing. And I tried to drill that in on every single video we've done. But we're absolutely brilliant right now. 10 goals, 2 games. Love it. Through to the semi-final of the Cup. So one of the big things, let's get into your comments for 5 minutes. Forrest gets 3 goals on Saturday, gets dropped, and Abada comes on and scores 2. What a team. Now, if you remember my Monday upload in this channel, we went through Liel Abada's comments in the media. He was talking about, I've got a job to do. I scored goals. When I don't do it, Jamesy scores goals. Jota scores goals. Kyogo scores goals. We've got a team of goal scorers, winners, and severe quality. And that is the exact reason that you see players like Forrest coming in and out of the team. I was surprised, very surprised that Forrest was dropped tonight. But the reason that he was dropped tonight, is because he can come in the next game and he can play in the next game. And the manager trusts him to do that. Abada's trusted to come in and score goals tonight, fill that void of 3 goals that Forrest scored. He scores 2 tonight. Very easily could have scored 3. Very easily could have scored 3. So it's a really good dilemma that we have at the moment, and I'm very happy. Kyogo looked frustrated. Good to see him score. Thank you for the donation, Al-Nalam. And yeah, I've seen my dad's react. My dad loves Kyogo. He adores Kyogo with all his heart. It's his favourite player at the moment. I think it's his favourite player in years, to be quite honest. Probably since Bobby Lennox, man. The way he goes on about him. He was delighted to see him score because he's been off. He's been off the goals recently. He's not been on the same amount of stats that you usually see. There's been a goal, by the way, for Aberdeen, 2-0 up. So there you go. In case anybody's waiting on their coupons or waiting to find out who will play, it looks as though Aberdeen are probably pretty much through to the semi-finals, 2-0 up against Partick Thistle. But massive for him tonight. He did look frustrated at not scoring. He had a couple of chances. I think that shot where it hits the bar gives him a huge boost in confidence to go on and get a goal later in the game. And I'm glad the manager was patient with him. I'm really glad the manager was patient with him because I thought he was going to hook him before he had the chance to score. Not physically hook him, not like a right hook. Like I thought he was going to take him off the park. And he didn't. He kept him on. He allowed him to get a goal. It's going to do wonders for his confidence, I think. So it's good. And you people asking whether I'd like him or Giakoumakis up top on Saturday. I'm more than comfortable with any of the two of them. I think I would lean towards Giakoumakis a bit more, I think. But I'm not fussed. I'd take any of the two. Hacks, I just need to score tonight to make it perfect. Absolutely, Mark. I'm going to throw a street party when he gets his first goal. Honestly, unbelievable if he's going to get that in the weekend. Hopeful of it, yeah. Thoughts on Ange not freeing the Gooch? I'm not surprised. We got Abelgard on. That was good to see. The Gooch's time will come. We will see the Gooch. The Gooch is nigh, you could say. But yeah, I'm going to have to end it there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I am in a bit of a rush, so my apologies. But I think that was a good one. I enjoyed that. It was good to get all your guys' opinions and everything involved with tonight's stream. Another win for Celtic, so that's good. You've got to love that. And on to a big game on Saturday at Tynecastle, where this month just keeps going and going. But guess what? And if you've watched the documentary, you won't stop saying it. We never stop. So, yeah, more content to come tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, hopefully, and so forth. Yes. Like and subscribe. Oh, just before we go, by the way, thank you very much, Dermot. What an absolute hero. $14.99. Thanks, Ryan. Love the post match. Got to listen live. Hero. I hope you enjoyed it, sir, and thank you very much for the donation. God bless all of you. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we're back in the chat tomorrow.